always up for it, which is probably one of the hardest things to do when you say to a company and say to a group of people, this is our mission for today. We're going to write a song together, we're going to perform it together, and we're going to make a music video. A lot of people would think, I don't know how to do any of that. Whereas the culture instilled from top down was, we go for everything, we go for it. No matter what, we're not scared to fail. And there's no repercussions for trying and failing. There's only obviously repercussions if you don't try.
Christo Alexander, good to have you here.
Good to be here, thanks.
I know that your theme of this month is team spirit, and you absolutely love being in, or even sparking team spirit.
Absolutely.
So tell us, why are you involved in team engagement activities?
Well, funnily enough, I didn't actually come out to be involved in any kind of team activities. I was a professional musician for so long, but I fell into it type thing, and all my years in working in bands and working in teams of musicians sort of put me in a good position to take on this role that I have with SongDivision, and it feels natural to me. So the team activities for me is what it's all about, and fostering collaboration amongst team members towards a common goal, which is the goal of any band. Really, it's you learn your part, you learn your part, you learn your part, and we come together and we create musical magic. So, in terms of working in a corporate environment, in a team building scenario. This sort of came naturally in a way that is quite organic for me, and I was able to make the connection between what I do and what corporate teams do and kind of need to do as well. So that's how I sort of got into it and how I fell into team building activities and of the like.
And also in our past conversation, you did mention that since COVID, you were able to help people thrive on the virtual platform in engagement activities and so forth. So what are some of your observations from team dynamics? Let's say if you are doing it for a corporate company and their team members. So what is it like sensing the dynamics of the team when they are logged in to do an activity together?
Okay, that's a good question, because it is quite different from actual human connection, physical connections. What I found in the virtual realm is that people have more places to hide, and it is easier to sort of lower yourself down in the camera and have just your head there. Or you can have your vision blurred a little bit, and you can kind of hide a little bit, which does make it a little bit more of a challenge to engage people, as they do now have more mechanisms to stop that engagement. I think it mainly comes from the fear of the unknown, and fear of not knowing what's next, and that for me is the great challenge in virtual, because finding people online and bringing them all together it's easily said, but actually engaging those people to all have one purpose and one mission and one goal for however long it is probably one of the most difficult things that I've ever done in my life. But I'm finding success because there always has to be some kind of thread that ties us all together, and it's not just working at the same company, or we're all from Singapore, we're all from Thailand, or anything like this. It's more what connects us in human ways. Music is obviously a great life hack, and connects us all very deeply in one way or another. I don't think I've met one person yet who doesn't like music. So that's a really easy way for me to bring people together using the power of music. You know, we we touch a lot on, you know, this is actually what music does for you in our sessions. We tell people, because people might not know that music has this power. They just know, oh, I like this song, it makes me feel good. And they don't really know why that's happening, but we do touch on that and say, look, music is scientifically proven to create stronger bonds and improve memory. And like when you think about your favorite song, it does take you back to when you were like, you know, young and had some good times, or maybe even takes you back to a time where you were sad. But these memories are inextricably linked now to this music that you have. So music has been the great connector online for us and virtually, and I found it's very successful in bringing teams together, even reluctant teams. So it's been an interesting journey so far.
We'll come back to the team conversation in a while's time, because what I wanted to share with you, I mean, my team and I have attended a couple of virtual happy hours that you have hosted. What was astounding to me is, I remember that session, we had about 35 of us in that session, all strangers except for my team and I. But you and your team were able to make strangers work together in a matter of minutes in our different groups and stuff. So why do you think you're able to evoke that team spirit?
I think we as humans are looking for connection, and regardless of whether I know you or not, I still think that if we bring a bunch of humans together, most of them, if not all, will find a way either to connect with you or find a way to get out of there. When it comes to our sessions, we're all in, and we're trying to create an atmosphere and a sort of, you know, a place where people can feel safe and feel happy. And music is, again, the great hack that brings us all in there, makes us feel better. That's why we always start our sessions with music, because it does put people in a good mood.
Yeah.
And then that opens the door to people actually connecting, even those who don't know each other. So obviously we do have other techniques which we employ to make sure that people can share, and once you share something with somebody, that's instant rapport. So, you know, just for example, one of our first questions that we ask each other is, or first things that we do is, say your name and your first concert that you ever attended. So my name is Christo Alexander. My first concert was Bon Jovi in 1988. And so instantly there might be 3 or 4 people who love Bon Jovi, and they'll go, oh, I love Bon Jovi. I saw Bon Jovi in 1993 in San Francisco, and you get these conversations going. So, and again, the great connector is music.
Yeah, and definitely, because I feel that it's such a relaxing way to connect.
Yeah.
Because more often than not, when you put a team together, if it's consider a work due, people will put on their professional hat. They will say, all right, we have got to be a little bit on the ball and switched on and so forth, right? But very quickly through that, through the experiences that you bring via the virtual platform, people relax because it seems to be a little bit more play than all too serious.
Yeah.
I know that you work with multinational corporations on activities like this, and what are some of the standout or phenomenal organization culture that you have observed, that you can see, wow, this organization, their team spirit is amazing, and what do you think are the attributes to that? Could you describe that, what it feels like?
Yeah. So some really standout ones would probably be Lend-Lease. And they're a construction company. They're Australian, and also they have Asian companies here. And then they, in particular, it's a top-down thing. Their CEO was very adamant when he came in into his role there that he would create a culture of openness and an inclusive culture. And when we do our sessions with them, and we did over a period of 4 years, we did many different things with Lend-Lease, and they were always up for it, which is probably one of the hardest things to do when you say to a company and say to a group of people, this is our mission for today. We're going to write a song together, we're going to perform it together, and we're going to make a music video. A lot of people would think, I don't know how to do any of that. Whereas the culture instilled from top down was, we go for everything, we go for it, no matter what. We're not scared to fail. And there's no repercussions for trying and failing. There's only obviously repercussions if you don't try. So that culture really brought out the best in everyone, and the Lend-Lease family, they're a good mix of expat and local, and I was blown away by the engagement that we got and the level of activity that they took on. And so that for me, that was pretty evident, and I could actually see it coming from the top down, because Tony, the CEO, he took time to talk to me and say, this is what I want to achieve, this is what I want my people to do, and I want to do something that will test that. And I said, I've got just the thing. So Lend-Lease would probably be one of the best ones, and also SAP. I know there's many divisions of SAP, but in particular the CX sales of Southeast Asia, very, very good. Very good. Their culture, they're all for one for all. That's what I really got from them. No silos within their divisions. I had a group of roughly about 100 to work with, and that team was buzzing with creativity and energy, and when they did their performances, it was 100% effort, and I just was blown away by how awesome they were. And they had teams from India, Thailand, Singapore, Australia, Vietnam, just they were from everywhere, and we had 500 people on this actual event, and they blew my mind.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so motivating to hear. And I think that if I were to be a Lend-Lease customer or a customer to SAP, if I were to hear that story about the cohesiveness of their team members, the willingness to do something that they're not comfortable with, it makes me feel that, oh well, if I have a very difficult situation, they'll be there to help me resolve it.
Yeah.
And I think that is so powerful. And I think if we can play very well, we can also work very well.
Yeah, absolutely.
As you know, this series is about conscious leadership. So share with us what conscious leadership means to you, particularly as we are looking forward to a very different future. Right.
Well, I've had a bit of a think about what that actually means to me, and I'd like to. The greatest thing I feel about that conscious leadership is that it's more we and not me. So I think having an awareness as a leader is paramount here. It's not just about what I can do for you, it's about what we can do for everyone else. And then I'll break it down into what does consciousness mean. Is it metaphorically, consciousness means to me, this is what it means to me, is it am I aware of what's going on around me? Do I know what's going on with these people? Am I aware of what's happening in this part of the world? It's a greater understanding of things that happen. And then leadership obviously is service to me. So am I in service to my people, or are they in service to me? I mean, as a leader, I believe I'm in service to everyone else. It's my job to create outcomes, not to be reactive. You know what I mean? I need to create outcomes that are meaningful, rather than have to react to something that's happened and then do something and then make something happen from that. It's a different sort of way to think. I understand that, but that's what it means for me. Like being fully aware and understanding what's going on, and then also having that leadership value of creating outcomes rather than reacting to situations.
For team members who are feeling a little bit languishing or lamenting, those lovely buzzwords to describe how they're feeling at the moment. I mean, you and I are very lucky to be doing something that we are very passionate about.
Yeah.
So how important it is to do what you're passionate about, and what is the difference when you're doing something that you're passionate?
Yeah, I mean, it is a bit of a slippery slope, that one, but I really feel like that, you know, especially in this day and age now, we're all disconnected in some way, shape or form. The passion that we feel for the things that we do is what's going to push us through this. It's going to get us through and drive us through to the next stage of whatever kind of, you know, normal looks like. But passion is where you'll find it, and that can be in anything. So it doesn't necessarily need to be in your job. It can be passion for cooking. It can be passion for your children. It can be anything.
Or even it doesn't have to be huge.
No, it doesn't. It can be the smallest things that you find, but that will drive you to sort of like have that connection with yourself more so than anything. That's what I find every time I'm languishing and I'm feeling down. I just go back to basics. What is it that I love? And I'll go get my guitar and I start playing it, and it brings me back. So that could be anything. It could be taking the dog for a walk, you know, going for a run, you know, playing a sport, doing something.
Yeah.
It has to be about you though.
Yeah, totally. I mean, that is sound advice, and thank you once again for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me out.